evening. Former Pro Wrestling Guerrilla World Champion El Generico taking on Loki, the newly crowned Pro Wrestling Guerrilla World Champion, the man who defeated American Dragon Bryan Danielson on the first night of All-Star Weekend 6 in a surprise matchup, a surprise appearance, and that element of surprise could exactly be what led Loki to defeating the champion and coming away with the belt. Generico, of course, former PWG World Champion, former PWG World Tag Team Champion, the only man to ever hold both titles simultaneously, and the only man to ever do it twice. The first time El Generico was champion, he also held the tag team titles with Quicksilver. And then at Giant Size Annual 4, PWG's 4th anniversary show, he defeated Roderick Strong and Pac. El Generico, along with Kevin Steen, defeated Roderick Strong and Pac to win the PWG World Tag Team titles. And then immediately after that match, Bryan Danielson stormed the ring. He was supposed to get his title shot at El Generico. Didn't receive the title shot. So instead, he challenged Generico to an impromptu matchup, and they had an incredible matchup that saw El Generico defeated at the hands of Bryan Danielson. Then Danielson became the PWG World Champion. So Generico only double crown champions for the second time for probably about 20-25 minutes. But still, it's a very impressive feat not to take anything away from Generico. He is a world-class competitor, and that's why he's receiving a shot at Loki. And Danielson after his draw with SEMA at All-Star Weekend 6, he stormed out of the building. He was not interested in returning back to Pro Wrestling Guerrilla anytime soon, saying that he didn't appreciate being ambushed by Loki, and he certainly didn't appreciate being ambushed in the ring and being challenged for 5 more minutes after their draw, after SEMA and Danielson's draw. And so he was he's going to take some time to reconsider them. We definitely love having Bryan Danielson around here in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. It was not our intent to ambush him in any way, shape, or form. We just thought that we were presented with the opportunity of having Loki. El Generico, instead of breaking clean with Loki, hits him with a chop to the chest, and I'm not sure we want to get into a striking war with Loki of all people. Loki, this is only his 4th appearance here in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, and already is the PWG World Champion. So he's only got upwards to, only can go up from here, I guess. But Loki, every matchup for him in Pro Wrestling Guerrilla is pretty much a fresh matchup. He's already faced Danielson. He's already faced he's facing Generico right now. But if he comes away with a victory here, the next person in line is catching El Generico with that kick to the face, caught him right on the jaw. Generico, that I guess he reaps what you sow. He didn't break clean with Loki, so he got a kick to the face for his trouble. But so Loki's next challenger, if he defeats El Generico tonight, will be Roderick Strong. And El Generico's first challenger for this title, if he defeats Loki tonight, will be Roderick Strong, and that will almost be a replay of the 2007 Battle of Los Angeles final matchup, where it was a 3-way contest.
Let's go, break it out.
Roderick Strong and El Generico.
Keep bringing it out of the corner.
Loki headbutting El Generico in the corner. He's got him locked up, but Rick Knox telling Loki to keep it clean, to keep things under control. Just because he's the champion doesn't mean Loki gets special privileges that he can bend or break the rules. And El Generico is being chopped down by Loki, and that I'm not sure that would probably happen regardless. Flashing elbow by Loki, catching Generico on the chest with that point of Loki's elbow driven into the sternum at high velocity by Loki. Loki picking Generico up, chops him in the chest, back against the ropes, and he's offering a challenge to Generico. Generico boots him in the midsection, takes him down with the side headlock, and Loki instead wraps his leg, scissors him around the neck of El Generico, and just wrenches on the neck, pulling him forward to the canvas.
He says no.
Generico, not ready to give up yet, gets trying to flip over his own body, but Loki wrenching down with putting the downward force on the neck, bring Generico's the trunk of his body back to the canvas, and not allowing Generico to flip over it. You can see Generico, what is it? he's using his body weight, his leverage to get out of it. But Loki, with that tight grip on Generico, just transitions into a lateral press, only gets a 1 count, but stays on Generico, does not allow him to catch a break, to catch a breather, and instead hits him with a headbutt to the crown of the head. And Loki, and then throws Generico face first into the top turnbuckle, keeping the pressure on El Generico. I think Loki is not one to underestimate any opponent, let alone a man who was the former PWG World Champion, former double crown champion. And so, Loki taking this contest very seriously. I mean, as seriously, obviously, as he takes all his professional wrestling encounters, but definitely more seriously, does not want to lose the PWG World Championship on his first defense. And that would be, well, it wouldn't be embarrassing. That would not be something. I don't want to say that might be something that would keep Loki up at night if he were to lose the title in the first go round. So I mean, he is definitely taking a business-like approach to this matchup, and so is El Generico. I mean, El Generico, of course, very very lighthearted approach to professional wrestling, but he can get down to brass tacks very quickly. And we've seen him play to the crowd a little bit in this matchup, but instead is keeping the pressure on Loki. He's got that front pantry applied. He's keeping Loki down on the canvas, keeping his feet and his arms on the canvas, and not where they can do some serious damage to El Generico. But Loki, no clean break from Loki this time. Generico, I think, put an end to that. He tore up the Geneva Convention of clean breaks as Loki charges in, but Generico caught him with a knee to the midsection. Loki, front face kick to Generico, and Generico though fires back with an elbow shot, and Loki though hits him with a kick to the back of the head, a kick to the left shoulder, and Generico and Loki trading chops there. Loki getting the better of El Generico. Loki being brought up to his feet by El Generico. I'm sorry, El Generico being brought up to his feet by Loki. It took me a half second to realize how long it was, and now. To the top of the head goes Loki. Generico staggered by the champion. Body slam puts Generico down. Lateral press only a 1 count as Generico was able to kick out of that. Loki brings Generico back up to his feet into the side headlock, working Generico down, rubbing his wrist bone across the face, across the nose, the eye socket of El Generico, really dishing out a lot of punishment with such a simple maneuver. But Generico backs him into the ropes, coming upon a shoulder tackle by Loki. Generico up to his feet, arm drag takes down Loki. Loki charges in, another arm drag takes him down, goes for the lariat, but Generico one step ahead of him, catches him into that arm drag, and then tilt-a-whirl backbreaker from El Generico puts the champion down. And El Generico, he's got the wind at his back right now. He has come away with the advantage over Loki, and now hoping to capitalize on that shift in momentum here. El Generico keeping the punishment on Loki. Snapmares him down and drops the elbow right across the face of the PWG World Champion. Hook of the leg only gets a 1 count. Now lateral press only gets a 1 count. Generico doesn't have Loki put away just yet. Loki kicking on it one, pretty much sending a message to El Generico saying you've got a long way to go before you get me down for 3. Generico elbows to the side of the head of Loki. You can hear it reverberating through the gym here in the HABRA. And now another elbow, and again those hard shots really rattling Loki. Generico though got his hands in the way of the attempted chop, blocked it, and came back with a kick to the midsection, kick to the ribs actually, taking Loki down to the canvas. Now stomps to the chest from Generico. And Loki now being brought up by Generico. Generico sends him into the ropes. Telegraph that one as Loki caught him with the kick to the midsection, a kick to the chest actually. And Generico just strung up on the top rope, thrown down full force, and bounced back into the ring. Loki's turned things around in the blink of an eye here, and that's exactly why he is the PWG World Champion. He is a tenacious competitor, and now with the body scissors applied to El Generico, driving the wind out of his lungs, just like Scott Lost was doing to Matt Jackson in the previous matchup. Loki is doing it to El Generico, and El Generico in the center of the ring. He's got nowhere to go. He's got no tag team partner to come in and break this hold up. And there was he trying to use the point of his elbow on the knee of Loki, but Loki actually caught it and blocked Generico from doing any more damage to that that wrapped up knee. You can see that right knee of Loki wrapped up in a black knee brace, and there we see El Generico returning to the knee, driving the point of his elbow into that knee of Loki, but Loki not giving up, not relenting, and not allowing Generico to extricate himself from this body scissors in the center of the ring. Generico writhing around, trying to make his way to the rope. Finally, Loki lets up, but I think it's only to inflict more damage to El Generico. Now, Generico brought back up to his feet by Loki. Loki chops him in the chest, and Generico, he is rattled by Loki. He's trying to catch his breath, but Loki will not allow it. Continuously chopping him to the chest after that extended body scissor submission hold. And now Generico just trying to fight his way out of the corner, and now a series of elbows to the side of the head of Loki. Loki a bit rattled by that. Generico backs him into the corner. Loki reverses, sent across the ring. Loki charges in. Generico sends him up and over the top. I thought Loki was going out to the outside, but no! Loki with the dragon lock on the rope. He is cranking back on El Generico. Generico's got nowhere to go. I mean, this is an illegal submission hold, but still, the damage has been done by Loki. He covers him with the lateral press, only gets a 2 count on El Generico. Referee Rick Knox telling Loki once again, you will get no special treatment as the champion, forcing him to break the hold. But still, I mean, Loki was able to cinch in the hold, and now he's got the waist lock applied on El Generico, who's on the canvas. You can see he's got that tight grip. His hands just bunched together across the ribs of El Generico. So not only is he pushing, he's pulling back with his hands on the ribs of El Generico, he's actually using his shoulder to push forward on the ribs on the right side of Generico's body. So Generico getting compressed from both sides at probably the weakest point of his chest by Loki. Generico does make it over to the ropes, gets his foot across the bottom ropes, forces Loki to break the submission hold. Now Generico, out of desperation, driving his shoulder into the midsection of Loki, but Loki putting a stop to that. A headbutt catches Generico right between the eyes. Former champion rattled by the current champion. Now Generico brought back up to his feet by Loki. Another chop from Loki. And you know, I was just thinking about say Generico is defeated, Loki retains the title tonight. We would have an incredible chopping contest between Roderick Strong and Loki down the line. But I mean, you can keep my attention focused on this matchup here, as El Generico is not out of it yet, as we saw right there as he kicked out at 2. Loki catches Generico with that knee to the midsection, overhand chop from Generico, boot to the midsection, and now chop to the chest by Generico on Loki. An elbow shot catches Loki right on the ear. A second one catches him again. A third one, Loki a little bit rattled. You could see he's not barely standing on his feet, but playing possum as he catches Generico with that kick to the face. 1, 2 count, almost like a standing version of El Generico's haluva kick. Generico being brought up to his feet by Loki. He's back into the ropes. Loki sends him in. Sunset flip by El Generico. Loki, Mongolian chop and foot stomp to the chest of El Generico. Loki's entire weight came crashing down at high velocity on the chest. I mean, that was just like the flashing elbow. Loki hit that Mongolian chop and foot stomp. In the blink of an eye. Loki so fast, so dangerous, and El Generico finding that out firsthand. Oh my God! Elbow shot to the top of the head. Another elbow shot from Loki. Loki just brutalizing El Generico. Generico, just out of desperation, driving Loki into the corner. But oh no! Another elbow to the top of Generico's head. And Loki snapmares him up and over, hook up the leg, only gets a 2 count as El Generico was able to kick out of that. Loki, though, I mean, he is just brutalizing El Generico, the former PWG World Champion. He kicked him in the chest, and Loki asking for the 10 count, asking for Rick Knox to count the knockout. El Generico is down. He's counting his teeth, counting stars, counting sheep, counting the number of lights on the roof of the building here in La Habra. And now Loki, again! A kick catches him right across the chest, and Loki telling Rick Knox, ordering Rick Knox to count the knockout. El Generico, there are some signs of life there, but I would not I would not think any less of El Generico if he stayed down right now. He is back up, and he's not out of this match yet. Low-key using that knockout to catch his breath, and Low-key a little bit revitalized, but El Generico maybe a little bit revitalized as he catches Low-key with the 4 consecutive elbow shots. Low-key with the chop, a chop again, but Generico blocks it. Lightly takes down the champion, and El Generico with his second win as Low-key is out on the ring apron, as Generico is up inside the ring. Elbow shot from Generico knocks Low-key to the center of the ring apron. Another elbow shot has got Low-key rattled. A third elbow shot, but Low-key blocks it. Knocks Generico back into the center of the ring, and Low-key, his knees or his legs drop kicked out from under him by El Generico. Very smart strategy by El Generico. Now Low-key up on the outside. Generico up on the outside. Oh, we've seen this before. Generico goes jumping through, but Low-key gets him with a roundhouse kick as Generico was diving through between the bottom and middle rope, going for that swinging DDT on the floor on the outside. But Low-key one step ahead of Generico. He has his challenger very well researched, and he put a stop to that before it could even begin. Now El Generico saying he's not out of it yet. Low-key, he has got the upper hand here after cutting off El Generico from that DDT on the floor. And now there we see the Mongolian chop once again from Low-key, backing El Generico into the corner with that high kick, a second kick to the midsection, a third kick, a fourth kick, a fifth kick, a sixth kick, a seventh, and now Rick Knox an eighth kick, ninth kick, and Rick Knox the 10th kick is telling Low-key to say, oh, now Low-key shoving Rick Knox. Rick Knox saying he will disqualify Low-key just because he's champion doesn't mean he has carte blanche. Excuse me, I was thinking carpe diem, but carte blanche instead. Low-key dives into the corner for the jumping elbow attack, but El Generico step ahead. The Blue Thunder bomb sets down Low-key hard in the center of the ring. Low-key rolling over to the ropes. Generico unable to capitalize with the pinfall attempt. He is still catching his breath after eating 10 consecutive kicks, only to be stopped by Rick Knox, who Generico was in the corner. They were illegal kicks, and Low-key kept on pressing the issue. So Rick Knox had to intervene, and that allowed Generico to catch his breath and catch Low-key off guard with the Blue Thunder bomb. Now Generico coming off the ropes from soul butt to the midsection by Low-key, and high kick catches Generico right on the back of the head, and now Generico is in harm's way in the corner as Low-key catches him in the corner with that chop. And now Generico being thrown pillar to post by Low-key. Low-key charges in. Generico though gets his elbow up. Generico up to the middle rope. Boot to the face of Low-key. Generico springs up to the top. Cross body takes down Low-key. Deep cover 1, 2 count as Low-key was able to kick out of that. Low-key crawling on hands and knees to the corner, trying to bring himself back up to his feet after Generico's entire body weight came crashing down across his chest and lungs. And now Low-key reversing. Oh, he's got Generico on the Dragon Sleeper, but Generico just swinging wildly, catching Low-key with those left hands. Now back Low-key into the corner, sets him up on the top rope. Generico being shoved away by Low-key. Low-key charges in. Michinoku driver drops him down 1, 2, almost a 3 count. But Low-key was able to kick out at the nick of time. In the nick of time, excuse me. But still, very impressive counter maneuver by El Generico, catching Low-key with that Michinoku driver. He planted him down hard on the back of his head. It was a very, very deep cover. Very tough for Low-key to kick out. You could see he expended quite a bit of energy to kick out of that pinning predicament. Now he's got him locked in for the half and half. That Tiger Suplex 85. Low-key is trying to fight out of it though, and takes Generico, drags him in face first into the top rope. But Low-key is running up the ropes. Front face kick, the Gamengiri off the middle rope. Catches El Generico 1, 2, almost a 3 count. But Generico able to kick out.
That was a good count.
El Generico voted as Southern California Wrestler of the Year by the fans here in Southern California, and that title doesn't definitely mean a lot to El Generico, but what it would mean much more were if he were to be able to reclaim his PWG World title. And but right now it does not seem likely, as Low-Ki is just keeping the punishment on him. That rolling back elbow from Low-Ki catching Generico right on the sternum. You can see Generico just heaving for breath, and Low-Ki went to come off the ropes, but Generico caught him with the Haluma kick. Maybe Generico's playing possum. Tiger suplex 85, the half and half. 1, 2, no! Low-Ki kicks out of the half and half. Unbelievable. Generico doesn't believe it. I don't believe it. Rick Knox can barely believe it. But I'm sure the only person in this building, the only person watching this that can believe it is Low-Ki. He was able to kick out at 2 9/10, and now Generico, though, keeps pressing the issue. He keeps the attack up on Low-Ki, and that has got to be his smartest strategy, as he's got the champion up in the corner. He's setting him up. He's setting him up for the turnbuckle brainbuster, but Low-Ki got his feet on the top rope. He pushed off and prevented Generico from setting him up on the top rope. And now Generico, he's got him set up, perhaps going for your garden variety brainbuster. He's got him in the ring. No! Shades of Keiji Muto and Shinya Hashimoto, the late great Hashimoto, as Low-Ki drove his knee into the crown of Generico's head. John Woo! He knocks him back into the corner with that shotgun-style drop kick to the chest. Low-Ki knocking Generico a good 5 feet back. The only thing that stopped Generico was the corner. If not for that, I think Generico would probably rolled all the way to the wall and perhaps through an open door outside the building and down the hill behind the gym here in HABRA. Generico, though, trying to catch his breath as Low-Ki is back up to his feet, going out to the ropes, ascending to the top rope. Generico, though, just latches onto the knee of Low-Ki out of desperation, sheer desperation, but Low-Ki just continues to punish El Generico in the corner, driving him face first into the top turnbuckle. Low-Ki changes his mind, returns back to the inside of the ring. I think he realized what danger he was in on the outside, that he could be set up for that turnbuckle brainbuster. So he goes for the key crusher, but Generico had it well scouted. Generico grabbed onto the top turnbuckle, so Low-Ki instead kicks him in the face, back elbows him in the face. Low-Ki coming off the ropes, Haluma kick from El Generico, and now Low-Ki set up on the top turn, or on the top rope, not even on the top turnbuckle, and Generico catches him with an elbow shot. Another elbow from Generico. Low-Ki, though, the Mongolian chop, as Low-Ki set up on the top rope, and Generico springs up, DDTs him in the center of the ring. Generico makes his way over for the cover. 1, 2, no! Low-Ki gets out at 2.99. I thought that was a 3 count for sure, but instead it was a 2.99 count, just as good as a 2 count, just as good as a 1 count, just as good as no count. This match continues as Generico, he's got Low-Ki up in the corner, setting him up for that turnbuckle brainbuster, and that would spell disaster for Low-Ki. The overhand chop from El Generico, he's got him in the corner, he's got the front chancery applied, he's got the arm of Low-Ki draped over his head, he's got Low-Ki in the corner, setting him up, but instead Low-Ki puts on the brakes, holding on to that turnbuckle, that connector that connects the padding to the ring post, the ropes to the ring post, but Generico hammers in, and now Low-Ki floats up and over the top rope, rolling kick to the small of the back of El Generico. The heel of Low-Ki's boot caught him on the spine. Low-Ki pulls him in. Crusher drops him down. 1, 2, no! Almost a 3 count, but El Generico was able to kick out Low-Ki, though, rolls him over. He's got him in the dragon sleeper. He's got him in the dragon lock in the center of the ring. He's got him locked in. El Generico doesn't want to give up, but Low-Ki cranks back. He is cranking back. This is vicious. This is vicious, but El Generico kicks out. El Generico taps out to the dragon clutch. Low-Ki retains the Pro Wrestling Guerrilla World Championship.
Low-Ki!